Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I clean my green iguana Charlie's cage out. He's there behind the glare. It has these sliding doors. It's a custom built, about 110 gallon like sized tank. This is like shower walling as the background to keep water in the bottom and everything. And it's bioactive, has giant canyon isopods in it and springtails and worms, I think. And then the background is made out of expanding foam and silicone. I have videos on that. I will put them in the description. So first, to start off with cleaning this, well, I need to clean it because while it is bioactive, there's just a couple things that I have to do that the isopods can't help with at all, and that is emptying out his water every single day. He poops in his water dish, and right now there's strawberries that he dropped in there. Then when he sits up on here, he'll sneeze, and then when they sneeze, they're like letting out minerals, so that like gets on the glass, so I'll have to wipe that off. So I'll take the glass pieces out, and then right here in the front, just random pebbles and stuff get there. Pieces of dirt from him walking around and whatnot, and I will actually be sweeping those out. And that's all I have to do with this terrarium. I don't have to do this very often at all. Like the water I have to do obviously way more often, but the rest is just real simple, and he's pretty much the animal that I really just don't have to care for him a whole lot. Like feeding wise, I just drop the food in, everything. It's just pretty simple to keep him. The other ones I hand feed and everything. But he normally does surprisingly well with this. I do not handle him at all. He's kind of always been kind of like freaked out, but he's actually going to be getting a much bigger enclosure soon, and hopefully that will help him tame down. But as you can see, he's pretty much too big for this enclosure now, and we're going to be building that within this month. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. While I say that he is easy compared to my other animals, I would not recommend green iguanas to just anybody. They get really large, and like I said, it'll need a huge enclosure, and even after this bigger enclosure, he's actually going to need an even bigger one, like half the size of my bedroom now. So it's a big responsibility. Okay, so that's it. I filled up the water, cleaned off this white area right here, cleaned off the glass, as you guys saw, and if you saw, I also hand fed him, which is something I have never done before. He's actually calmed down a lot. He will still kind of run up depending on what I do, but I'm normally pretty slow with him, so I don't, by run up I mean normally he'll be down here and then he'll get scared and he'll run up. But generally the only way he freaks out is from like dogs or the cat in my room. That kind of scares him. He seems to be alright with me. He doesn't seem to like my father for some reason, but he seems to be alright with me. As you saw, I took off these and he could have jumped out, got out, whatever. He stays in his enclosure. He's never tried to get out. He's probably too afraid to, I'd say. But I actually hand fed him strawberries. I just used tweezers, and also I got really close with the nozzle, the water thing. He seems to like when I spray him down and stuff, so that's cool as well. So I definitely think that at some point I'll be able to get closer with him, or at least hand feed him, which I think is pretty much equally cool. So again, he'll be getting a much bigger enclosure, probably about my height possibly, and or taller. It'll be much bigger than this. This is 54 inches, and it'll be around 5 feet, so not too much bigger than this actually, like width-wise, but or length-wise, but width-wise, this is about 18, I think. I could be wrong there. No, I think I'm wrong there. I think it's more like 24 or 21 or something, width-wise, and it will be 30 in the new enclosure, 30 inches wide. So that's really cool. It's going to be absolutely huge. It'll have like a proper fish tank in it, because as you saw, like I'm hoping that I could get it so I could have a system going, so I would just do water changes on it actually, rather than like cleaning it out. Because I mean, I have systems that have turtles in them and they put in poop like just almost as big as Charlie does, so it kind of makes sense to me that I'd be able to create a aquarium in his tank that could sustain poop for a couple days until I could do a water change on it. So that might make the maintenance a little bit easier. As far as his setup goes, he has a ceramic heat emitter here during nighttime. He has a heat bulb that's just like what you'd use for chickens, like raising chicks or something. That's what this is. And that's on during the day. His basking spot gets around 1010, but that might seem pretty hot. That's pretty much like perfect for these guys. It might get a little bit hotter. If it does, he is very capable of moving himself, and he wouldn't just sit there and bake himself. He's pretty smart. He obviously has this whole area, so if he wants to be really hot, he can be right there, but he can also be over here. But again, he'll be getting a new enclosure, and he'll be able to move a lot more then. And then right here is a 18-inch UVB strip that gets him at his basking spot. And then I give him supplements every once in a while. You might notice that I have sphagnum moss in his enclosure. That's new. I'll be putting those in putting sphagnum moss in all of my enclosures now. And also stay tuned, because this enclosure will be becoming 3 bioactive crested gecko enclosures, which means way more plants, like more plants than I have in my crested gecko enclosures now, because these will be much bigger. I'm thinking like trees possibly. We'll see what I can do with this tank. It'll be absolutely amazing for sure. Much better than this. This used to have plants, but he half ate them, half there's no light in this. There's a heat light and there's UVB light. Neither one of those really help with plant growth, but I'll definitely have a proper, probably just a shop light, honestly, in this tank for all the new plants that'll be coming in, and there'll be lots of renovations to this tank after we move him into a bigger and better terrarium, which will still be bioactive. The point of this video is to show you how easy it is to keep a bioactive enclosure, not necessarily how easy it is to keep a green iguana. He takes minimal maintenance, just not a lot of maintenance, but that's a huge factor of that is because I have set up the tank in this way. He's never had a problem with humidity. He's always shed just fine, and obviously he's not a big fan of being touched, so he's obviously shed just fine every single time without any help. So he probably will. The humidity might be a little bit better in his next enclosure, but he'll also, he goes through and bathes a lot in the water bowl. And like I said, he'll have an aquarium, so he'll be able to bathe in that as well as he gets bigger. And by system, I just mean like this is just what I call, it's more like an ecosystem, you know? So I just call it system. So this, I'd say, is a system where the plants take up the nutrients that the decomposers decomposed and the stuff pooped out and whatnot. Just the bacteria, and the whole thing is just a system. So that's what I mean by system, setting up a system where everything kind of works together to produce one big working thing, basically. So that's what I mean when I kept saying system. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day.